Hello and welcome to My India. I'm your host, Sarah Walsh. India's global economic influence gets a major boost as New Delhi and the European Union seal a historic free trade agreement. Announced at the 16th India-EU summit in the capital, the pact signals a bold step forward in bilateral trade and cooperation, strengthening ties between two of the world's largest economies in a rapidly evolving global market. India's strategic diplomacy is strengthening its role as a trusted global economic partner. Through sustained dialogue, New Delhi has advanced a forward-looking trade agenda with the European Union. At a recent India-EU summit in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced the conclusion of the India-EU Free Trade Agreement, a historic milestone that underscores open markets, predictability, and inclusive growth. After years of negotiations, the pact reflects mutual political will, cooperation, and a commitment to a balanced, rules-based trade partnership, positioning India and the EU as key partners in global commerce.
यह एफटीए भारत और यूरोपियन यूनियन के बीच इन्वेस्टमेंट को बूस्ट करेगा, नई इनोवेशन पार्टनरशिप बनाएगा और वैश्विक स्तर पर सप्लाई चेन को मजबूत करेगा। यानी यह सिर्फ ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट नहीं है, यह साझा समृद्धि का नया ब्लूप्रिंट है।
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen hailed the India-EU Free Trade Agreement as the mother of all deals, highlighting its historic impact on trade and cooperation. The European Union is one of India's largest trading partners, with bilateral trade in goods and services steadily growing over the years.
This trade will integrate further our supply chain and strengthen our joint manufacturing power. It will cut up to 4 billion euros in annual tariffs for exporters of all sizes. And it will create good jobs for millions of workers here in India and in Europe.
In 2024 to 2025, India's trade with the EU reached 136.54 billion USD, with exports at 75.85 billion USD and imports at 60.68 billion USD. Together, India and the EU are the fourth and second largest economies, representing nearly 25% of global GDP and 1/3 of global trade. The partnership of these two diverse and complementary economies is set to unlock new avenues for trade, investment, and growth on a global scale.
This free trade agreement between European Union and India places India at the high table of international geopolitics. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India has today found recognition and importance across the world. The world sees India as the fastest growing large economy, a country with strong macroeconomic fundamentals, a country growing very rapidly in terms of demand that 1.4 billion people, 140 crore Indians generate. Aspirational young India, full of talent and skills, is today wanted as a trading partner, as a strategic ally by all developed nations across the world.
Under the India-EU Free Trade Agreement, India will export textiles, leather goods, gems, pharmaceuticals, electronics, and marine products to Europe, while the EU will provide machinery, automobiles, aerospace equipment, chemicals, and high-tech industrial and consumer products, boosting trade and market access for both sides.
India is an important market. It's 1.4 billion inhabitants. It may be an interesting and important source for rare earth and other raw materials. So I think it is a very important step in the right direction, very welcome, particularly in context of the problems we are having in other regions of the world.
The India-EU Free Trade Agreement marks a historic milestone, strengthening economic ties between two of the world's largest economies. By boosting trade, investment, and supply chain integration, the pact opens new opportunities for businesses and workers, positioning India and the EU as key partners in a rapidly evolving global market. In a fast-paced digital era, India's reading culture is thriving. From printed books to ebooks and audiobooks, readers are exploring stories in new ways. Technology has made books more accessible, while curiosity keeps the love for reading alive and growing across the country. Meet Abhay Kumar, an Indian diplomat and best-selling author of works including Nalanda. Through poetry and storytelling in Awadhi and Bihari, he is preserving and revitalizing India's rich linguistic heritage. His private library is more than a collection. It's a space of inspiration, where he nurtures his own love for reading while encouraging others to embrace books and cultivate lifelong reading habits.
I think India has opened up in the sense now we have all kind of books available here. Those days it was very rare to find book by foreign writers in Hindi, for example. But I think now you see lots of people accessing reading material online, and finding through internet, they are able to read anything which is published anywhere in the world actually.
Amid a fast-paced life, 18-year-old Ishita from Delhi finds solace in books. Whether flipping pages or listening to audiobooks, she believes digital platforms ease reading. Yet, the tactile joy of print remains unmatched. For her, a book is not just read, it is experienced, felt, and lived.
I've started reading at a very young age, and I've started with like physical paperbacks and then hardcovers. Obviously, both of these are the OG type of books, and I don't think there can be any comparison. Like, of course, Kindle and all still stands as a very useful mean, but if I had to choose, I would always choose paperbacks and hardcovers over these technological.
From authors who craft worlds to readers who bring them to life, reading today is more than a habit. It's a celebration. That spirit came alive at the International Book Fair in New Delhi, uniting authors, publishers, and readers. The fair featured author talks, panel discussions, book launches, and interactive activities, inspiring a love for reading across all ages.
I think there's a lot of demand, and readership is only going to grow, and this book fair is a great example where we are seeing crowds from all day coming and viewing books of all categories. Like there's been no space to even walk around the stalls, so it's very positive. It's a very positive sign, and I think India is going to continue to be a global publishing hub.
Alongside traditional books, audiobooks and ebooks are reshaping how stories reach readers. Volkswagen has introduced a unique feature allowing listeners to hear stories in their own voice or in the voices of loved ones, blending technology and creativity to enrich the reading experience.
What we do is we take a little sample of your voice first, and then we let you choose any of the books that are present here, and then an audiobook would be get generated in your voice only.
For many, print books remain a space of focus and comfort. Yet, ebooks have revolutionized access to reading. With smartphones and tablets, reading has become convenient, affordable, and inclusive. India ranks among the top global readers, spending an average of 10 hours and 42 minutes per week reading.
So when you listen to a thumri, when you listen to a rag, when you listen to a musician playing sitar, you stop in your tracks and you feel, so that is books for me.
You can see, smell the fragrance of the yellow covered books, yellow covered pages and the wilted roses which are used as bookmarks. So that holds a nostalgic presence and it connects the person with the book. That's what I feel. But at the same time, it's not feasible to have all kinds of paperbacks, and it's also not practical for many people who have a lower income standards. For them, I think digital books are very important.
मुझे ऐसी books पसंद है जिसमें लाइफ स्लो हो जाती है और मतलब हम नेचर के पास होते हैं और एनिमल्स के पास और फिलोसफिकल मूवीज़ मुझे बहुत पसंद हैं.
In today's evolving landscape, reading transcends format. It is driven by curiosity. As print and ebooks flourish together, one thing is clear: the love for reading is not fading. It is evolving and reaching new heights. Nestled near the Chamundi Hills in Mysuru, Shukavana stands as a unique symbol of compassion, spirituality, and communal harmony. Home to more than 2,000 rescued birds, this peaceful bird park is open to everyone, irrespective of religion or belief. Located alongside a serene temple and ashram, Shukavana seamlessly blends care for nature with spiritual values. Here, service to living beings becomes a shared human experience, reflecting India's inclusive ethos and respect for all forms of life.
Nestled in the serene surroundings of Mysuru, Shukavana stands as a living symbol of communal harmony and compassion. The term Shuka in Sanskrit means parrot and Vana refers to forest. Therefore, Shukavana consists of more than 2,000 birds, including exotic species. Home to hundreds of exotic bird species, this unique aviary is not just a sanctuary of birds, but a welcoming space for people from all walks of life. Open to everyone, Shukavana invites visitors, irrespective of religion, caste, or background, to experience peace, wonder, and togetherness.
Here you can see plenty of varieties of parrots and which are open for public. We can touch them, we can feel them, and we can have a good photo shoot with them also. A special thanks to Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji for having such a good place where we can come and enjoy and have a good pleasure.
जब भी मुझे यहाँ पे मतलब दिमाग को रिलैक्स करना होता है तो मैं यहाँ पे श्री गणपति सच्चिदानंद आश्रम में आ जाता हूँ. हम लोग फैमिली सब आते हैं, खूब फिरते हैं, मतलब घूमते हैं.
Facilitated by Ganpati Sachidananda Swamiji, Shukavana reflects a vision where spirituality extends beyond temples and rituals, embracing nature and humanity alike. Here birds fly freely, echoing a powerful message of coexistence and freedom. Families, children, devotees, tourists, and nature lovers gather under one sky, sharing moments of joy and learning.
यहाँ पे 465 exotic bird species है. 2000 से ज़्यादा चिड़िया होते हैं. ये फ्री फ्लाई करने के लिए व्यवस्था किया है.
In a world often divided by differences, Shukavana quietly reminds us that harmony is possible when care, respect, and inclusivity guide our actions.
Now, let's delve into World in Focus, featuring the latest global developments and events shaping our world.
Under fireworks and the glow of candles, devotees gathered along the shoreline in Salvador, Brazil, before dawn breaks to mark the day of Iemenja, the Afro-Brazilian queen of the sea. Dozens of worshippers met at Rio Vermelho beach, singing as they laid bouquet on the sand and prepared offerings for the river. As the sun rises, people lined the seashore, holding flowers and watching the waves before stepping forward to drop blossoms into the sea as a tribute. Worshippers believe Iemenja will bless them in return for the gifts and rituals. Iemenja is one of the deities of the Yoruba religion and is prominent in Afro-American cultures. The tradition was brought to Brazil by African slaves hundreds of years ago, and in the coastal city of Salvador, the Day of Iemenja remains one of the most popular festivities. Dogs in butterfly wings and even dressed as hot dogs stands paraded on the streets of Cochabamba at a lively pre-Lent tradition that blends festive flair with calls for responsible pet care. Hundreds of owners and pets turned out for the carnival's mascot parade, part of the larger carnival of Concordia festivities in Bolivia. Participants marched with their companion animals dressed as pop culture characters, superheroes and carnival icons. Among the many participants was Luisa Zanugua, proudly presenting her dog dressed as La Cilindrina, the beloved character from the Mexican TV show El Chavo del Ocho. The procession drew families and pet lovers alike, with some spectators joining their dogs in complimentary costumes, including an eye-catching duo portraying Pennywise the Clown.
India's White Revolution, launched as Operation Flood in the 1970s, transformed the country into the world's largest milk producer. It strengthened several cooperatives, improved rural incomes, and modernized dairy infrastructure. Today, over 80 million farmers are engaged in dairy farming, making it a key pillar of India's rural economy. India is no longer just a land of small farmers and village dairies. It is now the world's largest milk producer, supplying nearly 248 million tons annually to meet the needs of over 1 billion people. Behind these numbers lies a quiet transformation, milk moving from backyard pots to automated plants, and from local markets to national brands. The White Revolution of the 1970s reshaped Indian agriculture, giving farmers steady incomes and global stature. Gujarat's Amul proved how cooperatives could empower millions. Uttar Pradesh in northern India emerged as the largest milk-producing state, linking small cattle owners to cities. In Rajasthan, dairy became a lifeline in arid regions, while Punjab's farmers diversified beyond wheat and rice through cooperatives like Verka. At Sandhu Dairy Farm in Ludhiana, dairy farming has entered a modern era. Manual milking has given way to advanced machines and digital systems that monitor each cow's health, feeding, and milk output, enabling informed decisions and steady, planned growth in productivity.
एज ए ब्रीडर मैं पूरे मतलब हमारे पास आते भी हैं दूसरी स्टेट से लोग, जैसे अभी NDDB के लोग आए हैं, नेशनल डेयरी डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड के, उसमें हिमाचल के मतलब जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है वो हमारे से बोले लेके गए हैं, गाय लेके गए हैं, क्योंकि वो चाहते हैं ये जो सीमन है, जो आपकी जो प्रैक्टिस है, ये सारे देश में फैलाई जाए.
Punjab's economy rests on agriculture, and dairy has become a key growth sector, attracting a new generation of farmers. In modern dairy farming, animal welfare is also smart business. Balanced nutrition, clean environments, and regular veterinary care reduce stress and directly improve milk quality and productivity.
गाय को तूरी और लूसन पाता हूँ, वो मक्की का थी होता है, और दाना पानी भी पाता हूँ. उसको टैंक में मिक्स करके अब फीड का नाम अलग है बताता हूँ. एक कारगिल फीट हो गया, एक FI फीट हो गया, तो दोनों फीट मिक्स करके गाय को पाता हूँ।
हम यहाँ जगरांव विजिट करने आए। हमने यहाँ अलग अलग नस्ल की गाय देखी, जैसे कि होस्टन फ्रीजन है, जर्सी है और अच्छी प्रजाति की गाय हैं और बहुत अच्छा दूध देती हैं। 60 लीटर 65 लीटर दूध देती हैं, जो कि और सब जगह से अलग है। यहाँ सबसे अलग है इनका जो खाने का खिलाने का तरीका है, जो पशुओं को खिलाते हैं, ये इनका खवाने का तरीका अलग है, सिस्टम इनका अलग है, उस वजह से दूध ज़्यादा दे रही है।
Today, a growing number of dairy farmers sell their milk directly to commercial processing plants. In Punjab, Virka, run by the Punjab State Cooperative Milk Producers Federation, connects farmers to large markets. Through strict quality checks, advanced processing, and constant monitoring, Virka ensures safe, high-quality dairy products for millions of consumers.
ये सारी उनके दिशा निर्देश के अंदर हम लोग काम करते हैं और 1 रुपए में से 75 पैसा हम वापस किसानों को प्रोवाइड दे देते हैं एज ए बोनस। जैसे भी इनपुट्स में हम उनको फीड देते हैं, मिनरल मिक्सचर देते हैं, मेडिसिन प्रोवाइड करते हैं, सीड प्रोवाइड करते हैं, वो सब्सिडाइज बेस पे, और वो हमें मतलब हम उनको एक तरह की सपोर्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि अगर हम कोशिश करते हैं कि जो प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है वो उसको मिनिमाइज किया जाए।
From village sheds to fully automated plants, India's milk story is a quiet revolution. What began to support farmers has become a national powerhouse, powered by cooperation, technology, and dedication. Nestled along the Bay of Bengal on India's southern coast, Puducherry is a unique destination where Indian traditions meet French elegance. Once a French colony, the city still reflects this legacy in its streets, architecture, and lifestyle, earning it the titles India's Little France and the French Riviera of the East. With serene beaches, charming boulevards, a spiritual calm, and rich cuisine, Puducherry continues to captivate visitors from around the world. Where time slows down and cultures gently intertwine, Puducherry emerges as a destination where French heritage, Indian traditions, spiritual tranquility, and natural beauty exist in perfect harmony. This rare blend transforms the city into a memorable experience, offering every visitor a renewed sense of calm, elegance, and cultural depth. Life in Puducherry flows at an unhurried pace, and it is this soothing simplicity that quietly wins over every traveler.
The overall vibe for like this place is cozy, comfy, peaceful, and certainly very relaxing. So I'm feeling very calm and mentally very like if somebody is बहुत ज़्यादा जो occupied होता है काम में और बहुत ज़्यादा somebody जो बहुत ज़्यादा अपनी life में stressed है, so that person can visit here and he or she will definitely have some relief and then can have a calmful staycation and all of these things like that.
French rule in Puducherry spanned nearly 300 years, beginning in 1674 and ending with its de facto merger with India in 1954, before it became a union territory in 1963. This long colonial association still shapes the city's soul today. From French signboards to the town's relaxed ambience, the influence is unmistakable. Pastel-hued buildings, wide shuttered windows, and cyclists moving through quiet streets lend Puducherry the charm of a European town. Among the lasting legacies is the iconic French Ganesh Temple in the French Quarter, a striking symbol of the city's unique cultural blend.
That time the governor's daughter, baby, get the fever, severe fever. So the local people said, hey governor, you throw to the ocean the statue. That's why you maybe have problem now. So solution, he was built this temple. That's why now we say it's a French Ganesh temple. Also the local people call Vellakaran temple. You know Vellakaran means white guy. When there is European people, we are called, local people said Vellakaran. So it's a Vellakaran temple.
French bakeries and cafes are central to Puducherry's charm, with the aroma of fresh bread and pastries filling the French Quarter. Cozy cafes, soft music, and rich coffee create spaces for relaxation, where visitors savor French flavors blended with local tastes and embrace the city's slow, peaceful rhythm.
We serve here many croissants, pastries, tartines, pancakes, which we use here. Everything is a gluten-free, vegan options are that. And especially we don't use any preserved items here, like ketchups and stuff. We don't use here. Everything is organic.
Puducherry is a very beautiful place. यहाँ पे बहुत culturally rich जगह है. तो यहाँ पे French influence है, बहुत सारा Indian French influence है, Tamil influence है. ये तो है ही South में. And it's famous for its Creole food. Creole means half Tamil French mix, and you will not get this kind of cuisine anywhere else in the world.
Puducherry is not merely a tourist destination. It is an experience that gently soothes both body and mind. The rhythm of the ocean whispers peace. French heritage offers a journey through history, and Indian culture embraces visitors with warmth and belonging. Whether one seeks spiritual calm, cultural immersion, or moments of quiet relaxation, Puducherry gives every traveler something truly special to carry home. It is this blend of simplicity, beauty, and cultural harmony that leaves a lasting imprint on every heart. Puducherry is more than just a destination. It's an experience where history, culture, and calm coexist, inviting visitors to slow down, soak in its unique charm, and carry a piece of its timeless elegance long after they leave. And with that, we wrap up today's episode of My India. I'm your host, Sarah Walsh, and we'll see you next week at the same time. Goodbye and take care.